Salve Miki. Welcome back to Viva Latina. Today we will start out with learning about the first declension. In the last section of our videos, we talked about verbs, but now we're going to focus more of our attention on nouns. So before we begin, let's talk about the basic structure of how a dictionary level entry of a noun in Latin looks like. So you always start out with the nominative case. And after that is the genitive case, and after that is the gender of the noun. So our first noun here is really famous. It's a really famous noun. It's agricola, agricolae, masculine, and it means a farmer. Again, nominative, genitive, gender, which is masculine, and then farmer. This is a special type of verb. Most first declension words are feminine. However, there's some words which are actually masculine. And these words are a general acronym to figure out what these words are is. It's pain, or you can say pain, but just remember there's two P's in the beginning. So the A over here is agricola. Again, this acronym is used for first declension nouns which are masculine instead of feminine. Now let's move on to amicitia, amicitiae, feminine, and that means friendship. Again, this is the nominative, this is the genitive, and this is the gender of the noun. I just want to focus on one thing over here is I want to show you guys how amicitia actually is somewhat related to one of our older words which we learned. Actually in our first video, amo. Amicitia is closely related to amo in the Latin language. And what you're going to see now is after your knowledge of verbs, we're going to have a lot of Latin nouns which are actually really similar to the forms of a verb. Now, we have aqua, aquae, feminine, water. Again, nominative, genitive, gender. And this noun means water. Next, we have casa, casae, feminine, and that basically means a house. Then we have cena, cenae, feminine, meaning dinner. Then cura, curae, feminine, meaning care or concern. I want to stop here for a second. Cura, if you remember, the verb curo. That's what we learned in our first video. Curo, curare, curavi, curatus, meaning to take care of. Again, cura is the noun and curo is the verb. And you can see how the noun and the verb look similar, but they serve different functions in Latin language. Then we have dea, dei, feminine, goddess. Fabula, fabulae, feminine, a story. A fable, for example, is a good derivative. Familia, familiae, feminine, family. Femina, feminae, feminine, women. Then we have fenestra, fenestrae, feminine, window. Filia, filiae, feminine, daughter. I just want to stop here for a second. If you're noticing a pattern right now, that's a good thing. From class, you may learn how the first declension works. But for those who don't know the first declension, you can see that all of the nominatives end in an A, and the genitives are AE. In Latin, we pronounce the AE to be I. And here's what I want to say right now. I want to say that a lot of students are really confused and have a tough time memorizing a lot of different nouns. You're going to encounter a lot of nouns. But a good tip I have for you is to understand what declension they are. So it's easier for you to visualize and group different words together. In this case, in this PowerPoint, I've already done it for you. But in the future, you may just get lists which don't have it in a group. Make sure you group them based on declension. Next, we have janua, januae, feminine, meaning door. Insula, insulae, feminine, meaning island. Then we have ira, irai, feminine, meaning anger. Littera, litterai, feminine, meaning letter. Then we have nauta, nautai, masculine, meaning sailor. So remember our acronym for these first declension nouns, which are actually masculine? It's PPAIN, or papain, or pain. A was Agricola, N is nauta. So make sure you have this acronym in mind. It's a good way to organize different content in a good and manageable way to learn. Then we have patria, patriae, feminine, means country or native land. Then we have pecunia, pecuniae, feminine, meaning money. This is a really important one. Make sure you know that really well. Puella, puellae, feminine, meaning girl. Regina, reginae, feminine, meaning queen. Silva, silvae, feminine, meaning woods or forest. Depends on the context. If it's a forest, you say forest. If it's a wood, if it's woods, you say woods. But ideally, it's more of a synonym. Remember, it's feminine. Then terra, terrae, feminine, meaning earth. Then we have unda, undai, feminine, meaning wave, like a wave in the ocean. Via, viae, feminine, meaning a road or a street. Again, that just depends on the context. Villa, villae, feminine, means a farmhouse, a estate, or a house. Again, it all depends on the context, how you translate it. Vita, vitae, meaning life. And that ends our first conjugation lesson on the Vocabulary 1 Regional Study Guide. So just as a recap, when we scroll through these words, we see a lot of similarities. Most of them are feminine, except two, Agricola and nauta. But we also see another major similarity, that the nominative ends in A and the genitive ends in an AE. So for Regina, it's Regina, reginae, feminine, queen. And that form of nominative, genitive, and gender is what we call a dictionary entry. So, thank you so much for watching this video. It took some time to load, but it should be there. And next video, we will talk about the second declension. We have 5 declensions in Latin. We covered 1, and we have 4 remaining. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey in learning vocabulary at the level 1 level. See you in the next video. Thank you.